How to open a company bank account for your China registered company in 2003. Hi, my name is 𝐤𝐤. I am the legal representative and CEO of Shanghai Silk Road. We're a corporate consultancy company based in Shanghai, China. We also have a company in the US, JR and Firm. On the screen, you will have our company websites. You can go there and familiarize yourself with our services, and you can contact us if you're interested in working with us. So, going back to the topic, how to open a corporate bank account for your China registered company. Now, up until recently, it's been relatively easy to open a company bank account in China. Usually, banks required companies' documents, full set of documents, and also registered address only. And of course, they used to send their representative to the registered address of the company and take a picture with the director of the company holding the company's business license. And that was pretty much it until recently, like I said. But since the pandemic ended in China, i.e. China lifted the restrictions for foreign travel, there have been some changes by the banks. Now, there are two major changes happening with the requirements by Chinese banks. Number one is all of the banks in China started requiring to have a physical office space before they take your application to open a corporate bank account. Now, for this, most of the new starters have to be ready because, of course, it's going to cost extra in your budget. So you have to plan accordingly. Okay. Previously, like I said, banks were fine with just a registered address, as long as that registered address is a physical location. They used to send their representative, like I mentioned, and the company director will have to go there together, and they have to hold this company's license, and the bank representative used to take a picture, and that was enough. But now things changed, especially after the restrictions are lifted. Now more and more foreigners are coming in and opening up companies, so banks have changed their requirements as well related to address requirements. Now, like I said, if you're opening a company here, planning to open a company in China, you need to be ready to actually rent a physical office space. There's no specific requirement in terms of sizing of the office. It can be very small office as well. It really does not matter. But what matters is it has to be a physical office space. Now, all of the major banks in China that we are sending our clients to started requiring this physical office space. Okay. The first question actually they're asking is if the client company has any physical office space. If yes, please show us the pictures first before we take their application. Now, the second requirement they are pushing forward is foreign-owned companies, WFOEs, should have at least one Chinese contact. Okay, it doesn't have to be an employee of the company, but you have to be ready to present a Chinese citizen in order to facilitate easier communication with the bank. Now, if you speak Chinese fluently as the company director, then the scenario might change, obviously. But again, compared to previous years, the situation is different now. Before the pandemic, that was okay for the company director not be able to speak Chinese, okay, even the basic Chinese. Banks were fine with that. But now, more and more banks are pushing this requirement, saying that the company director, if the company director cannot speak Chinese, then they have to be ready to present one Chinese contact to facilitate that communication. And that Chinese contact usually have to present their ID. Of course, these are not official requirements that you can find somewhere on banks' websites or on the internet somewhere. If you ask me to present some resources, like many things in China, these are directly coming from the banks. That's it. So this much we can say, okay, based on our practice, based on our experience here, opening companies for clients. So, two things. Physical office space, you need to be ready, and you need to be ready financially. And second thing is you need to be able to present one Chinese contact in order to speak to the banks if you do not speak Chinese yourself as the company directly in China. Apart from that, due to the war between Russia and Ukraine, obviously Russian clients are having difficulty opening Chinese bank accounts here for their Chinese companies. The reason is very simple. Chinese banks also work with SWIFT, so we can assume that they don't want to be part of any sanctions, obviously. So they tend to refuse most of the applications sent by Russian citizens. The same is true for Belarusian citizens. So if you are coming from Russia and Belarus, you just have to be ready for the unpredictable results of your application to the banks. Okay. Of course, there are still solutions available in China in terms of banking who accept Russian and Belarusian clients. But still, this number is decreasing day by day. More and more banks are putting a ban for Russian and Belarusian people, owners, directors of companies in China. So these are the three major changes that we have noticed when it comes to opening a corporate bank account in China. So on the screen you have our contacts. Feel free to send us an email or add us on Telegram, WeChat or WhatsApp. If you have any questions related to company formation in China, we will be glad to hear from you. Thank you very much and see you in the next one.